Black, it's welcome to your first East Bank Weekly. Firstly, explain your role and what you do at the club.
Thanks for having me, guys. So essentially, my role is head of goalkeeping, essentially. So first team downwards. So right from Mitch Walker right through to the younger boys and Ryan Hall and some of the younger academy lads we've got within the club. Main really sort of focused is the day-to-day running of Mitch and Ryan Hall, who is part of our first team setup. So really my role is about making sure that Mitch has all the preparation he has going into his games, into the week, making sure that he has all the preparation for his training week and what he needs to get out of it. So we sit down at the back end of most sort of weeks, start of the week Mondays, discuss internally in terms of bits he wants to try and focus upon from maybe previous weekends, or potentially some drills that we didn't incorporate in the week before, but we will work through that, and then that leads up to game day. So essentially, the closer we get to a Saturday, we start to really work on his on his match preparation. So it's a lot around his distribution, making sure that he's well prepared with regards to his distances within the goal, and making sure that he feels tip top. Most people know Mitch Walker. He's probably the most happiest guy I've ever met, and naturally he puts 110% effort in every week. We've also got Ryan Hall, who's one of our young up and coming goalkeepers, which we've got high hopes for. He's working closely with Mitch as well. In terms of his development, we've got a development plan for him going into the latter stage of this season, trying to get him some more game time, and then having really sort of starting to have an overview of the younger academy goalkeepers as well. So they're now starting to integrate with our training programme within the first team. And we're working closely with both Rosses in the academy to do so. It would be nice to have a young academy goalkeeper play for the first team here at some point. Maybe not this season, but in the future, definitely. So that's my sort of main day-to-day responsibilities for the team. And yeah, anything off the field for Mitch. So it's preparation around analysis as well. So again, leading up to the week, it will be around our opposition and what type of style they like to play, whether they like to draw crosses into the box, where they like to shoot from, and making sure that he's in the right mental state for a match day.
And how did you get into coaching in general?
So coaching probably came slightly unexpected for me, to be honest. I was still playing through variety of different situations. Had the opportunity to go back to coach at West Ham in the academy, where I'd grown up and been through their scholarship and professional programme, working with their under 9s to 16 goalkeepers essentially for 2 years, and got a chance basically to take up a first team role at my local club at Braintree Town in the Conference South with a manager that I used to play with, and essentially that season we got promoted, and it just snowballed from there really. Really essentially just fell into it, and then in the conference last season, in the National Prem last season with Braintree, and then obviously along here I've continued the journey with Danny through to this season as well. So it was very, very unexpected, to be frank. I didn't plan on it. It was one of those situations that playing career decided to stop, and the opportunity to come up, really. That was it.
And you mentioned your relationship with Danny there. What's that relationship like, and the rest of the coaching staff at Aldershot Town?
Sure. So certainly someone I've known for a long time anyway. Again, goes back to the West Ham days when he was in the academy there, and I'd obviously gone through the professional program there, and then went back as a coach. He was one of the coaches there. Really high thought of guy. Didn't have much interaction with him in the academy, but then essentially when we had a change of management at Braintree, he came in with one of the new managers, and essentially then when he got the full-time job, it was one of those situations that we fell straight back into sort of normal day-to-day life together. It's always been really strong. We went through a tough time last year at a club that was in a challenging league, and it was well known. We had one of the smallest budgets, but Dan, through his enthusiasm and his coaching techniques, we managed to really go on a good run in the last 15 to 16 games last season. And it's just snowballed from there. We've developed a really good relationship. Thankfully, he asked me to partner him with this opportunity at Aldershot, which I said at the beginning of the season was a no-brainer for me. And with all the other coaches, by the way, Anwar is top professional. I think I played against him in a previous life. Again, knew him briefly at West Ham. Same with Danny Whitehorn. He was at Braintree with us. We go back to young days anyway, from our local town. And Michael is someone new I've met today, but a really top lad, and going to be a strong coach in the future. He's developing every day, and some of the stuff he does for the team behind the scenes is phenomenal for such a young lad. So we've got a really good, strong group in there, along with all the medical and physio staff as well.
And you mentioned the goalkeepers this season, Ryan and Mitch. Mitch in particular has had a great season so far. How do you think he's getting on in terms of your progression? Yeah,
I think Mitch has been incredibly consistent throughout the whole season. Remember, this guy has played over 300 games at this level. He's got got real good pedigree and stock, and puts in 110% effort every week, throughout training, throughout his games. His attitude is second to none. He's a delight to work with, even when things aren't going to plan. He finds a positive in everything. I think I think he'd be pleased with his season so far. There's still elements of his game that he wants to improve on, which we're working hard to try and to target and assist with him. But I think everyone here is incredibly pleased with his performances and his attitude and what he brings to the team. The experience level that he brings to the team, and his calmness around the goal is I haven't seen better at this. I haven't seen better at this standard.
And Ryan, it must be a great person for him to learn off too.
Ryan's such a top guy as well, for such a young lad, very mature. Got great pedigree again. Got really good pedigree. Ryan Hall and Mitch and Ryan get on really well, which is great. It's great to have a unit of goalkeepers. You have that goalkeepers union they talk about, and it's really great to have 3 or 4 of you that really get on as mates as well, and as friends, not just as colleagues and teammates. So Ryan's developing every day. I look at Ryan from the beginning of the season in pre-season to where he is now. We've sat down on multiple occasions, and we sort of smile about some of the saves he makes now within training and within games that he wouldn't have made at the beginning of the season. And that's only credit to his hard work, and also again being able to learn off someone like Mitch day in, day out, which is great for him, and we hope it continues.
What's been your thoughts on the season so far in general?
I think the season's been it's certainly been up and down. I think we've got a great group of lads here, and there's certainly lots of experience here. It started obviously naturally. We know it started slightly slowly. We struggled to pick up results. We felt we were unlucky in some games, but I think now you can see over the last 10 to 13, 14 games, I think we've really matured as a group, and I think we've obviously naturally we've strung a lot of really good results against some really good teams. This league's tough, by the way. It's essentially League 3. It's league football, and I think if we continue to the game plan in terms of the strategy, what the gaffer wants to implement, what Annie wants to implement, what we're all striving to do this season, I think we'll finish incredibly positively, and I think it will take us into next season on the front foot.
You mentioned a couple of targets there. What are your personal targets and personal targets for the club moving forwards?
Yeah, so personally, from a goalkeeping perspective, probably for me is obviously to continue up until the end of the season. Is obviously to continue the development of Mitch. We want to keep as many clean sheets as possible. I think we've kept something like 8 this season. I think my maths are right, but I think we've kept 8 this season. So I want to continue the real good energy and positive vibes in the GK setup here. Long term, I mean, we go into next season, we build in the National League, and also long term from a goalkeeping perspective would be, we would love to see a young academy focused goalkeeper make it up through the ranks, through the younger age groups, into the 18s, into the 23s, working closely with both Rosses and finally getting their chance to play in the first team here in front of a top crowd in a very, very strong league. So personally, my development would be it'd be great to see that in the future. And yeah, as a team, it would be to continue building on what we've seen over the last 14 games, and plan for a successful season next season.
Click here for the next video, click here to subscribe.